the title said, a simple soup for winter. And it's probably a lot easier to make than it is to explain how to make it. And as you know, on cold winter days, there's nothing like a really nice hot bowl of soup. How did I make it? First things first, I bought the leanest and the most inexpensive piece of beef that I could find. Luckily, my local supermarket is very accommodating. On their shelf, they have the meat that they must sell for the day, and that's one I buy because I'm going to cook it today. Then I had a very sharp knife. By the way, have you noticed that the sharper the knife, the safer it is? Anyway, I got a very sharp knife, and I cut up the beef in bite-sized pieces. And once I did that, all I did then was to brown the beef. Now, somebody once told me that it makes no difference at all whether or not you brown the beef. Well, I like to brown the beef before I put them in a soup. Call it my way of doing things. A nice hot frying pan, I brown the beef, and that's what I do. Yeah, that's right, I use a wooden spoon. That knife was just there to separate them, but I never touched the bottom of the pan. I don't like seeing scratch marks on a Teflon pan. Do you? That is why I use a wooden spoon. Anyway, excuse me, I browned the beef, and once I did that, good and brown, then I chopped some onions and sweet peppers. These little peppers are really, really good. They're flavorful, but they're not spicy. They're not hot. So I chopped up some onions and some sweet peppers, and to that I also added some salt, and there it was. And then in a bowl, one of those plastic containers, I layered it. First the layer of the onions and sweet pepper, then the beef, and then another layer of onions and sweet peppers, and then some more beef. In other words, I really packed it into this container, pushed as much of it as I could, because what I wanted to do is to let it sit overnight in the refrigerator. Again, somebody told me that when you marinate beef or meat, it makes no difference. To me, I think it makes a difference. So that's what I do. Put it in the refrigerator overnight because I want the beef to really absorb all the flavors. The next thing, of course, was to get some potatoes. Actually, it's just one big one. Cut them in half. And I cut up some more scallions, some more onions. Put them in a pot and sort of stir them around with some, maybe a tablespoonful of oil. And the idea was just to try to clarify the onions. Is it necessary? I don't know. And as you can see, I added a little sliver of Scotch bonnet pepper and some thyme. So there it was. Salt and pepper, thyme, a bit of Italian season. I did add that too. Some salt, a sliver of Scotch bonnet pepper, and I put them all in. And the idea, as I said earlier, was to try to clarify the onions. I also added the potato at this time, mixing that all around. And then from the refrigerator, I got the beef out. Remember, this thing's been sitting in there all night. And I added it all to my pot, stirring it, and stirring it. Because I want it all to be mixed together. Then I added some water. What I wanted here is to add enough water to cover everything that was in the pot. And that's exactly what I did. Maybe a little bit more. And then the next evolution was I personally added some dumplings because I like dumplings. So there you have it. Beef, onions, sweet pepper, a bit of Scotch bonnet pepper, some thyme, some dumplings, and then I put the lid on and let it simmer for about an hour. Really slow fire, about an hour. So there it is. At the end, I had my soup with my bread. I hope you enjoyed my simple way to make soup on a very cold winter's day.